Well, hello, kettle corn vendors. This is Gary with Kettle Corn Crew, and we've got a dilemma with our trailer. We started working out of a trailer last year, and everything's good except there's some events we need to set up a tent. And our little pop-up tents, they hit our awning for our window, and we tore a tent last year. So this video, I figured out a way to raise a pop-up tent. We use a Walmart tent. They're cheap. We don't use them that often. They work well for us, but I need it 24 inches higher. And here's the reason. There's our kettle corn trailer, and you can see where the awning comes to. And we need the tent to come to the very top of the bottom of the tent to come to the very top of the trailer. And we're going to work on that. We've got it fixed up. I'm going to do a video on how to do it because I can't find one anywhere of how to do how to raise a pop-up tent, except for a one that they sell some extensions, but we've tried that and they don't seem to work. So stay tuned. We're going to go back into the workshop here in a little bit, and I'm going to take you through the steps. I've figured out how to raise that up to make it good and sturdy. There's our donor tents. We had a couple of friends that's vending it, had some busted up tents that they had saved the frames, and they gave us two, and we were able to scrounge parts off of it, and we'll get into that in just a little bit more. Okay, here we are back in the shop. And as you can see right here is the extension legs that we're making. They were taken out of the donor tent and cut to size. This part right here, as you can see, it's got some holes drilled in it, was taken from this section right here in the donor tent, from where the leg comes out to where the frame starts. That's just a 6-inch, 7-inch section, and we fixed it to where we can put it in 3.5 inches. This leg comes down 3.5 inches, and to about right there we drilled a hole. Then you put it on the leg of the tent. It comes up 3.5 inches to here. You drill a hole to bolt it on, and that holds that. We took the bottom feet off of our regular tent that we're going to use so that the legs would slide right up inside here on that. This is what we cut off of the leg. That's the rest of the leg when you fully extend it, and that will go right up in there, line up with the hole, and voila. Now what we did, you can see that's wobbly, and we've got these rubber pieces that help make the leg stable, and we scrounged some rubber pieces, these right here, off of a different tent. They do the same thing. That's the same place right here where we pull the leg out and in. That makes it stable. So what we did, we took some good old duct tape and we wrapped it around the bottom of that leg. We missed the hole. Right there's where the hole is. We skipped it over and we put some more right in here. And what that does is that sturdies up the leg. All right, before we get started, we want to take these off, and we're going to put those on the leg, and they've got little tabs that hold it in on each side. Just have to pop those little tabs up and push it off. Just take a screwdriver, pop them up, and as you get them up, just push it off and they come right off. And we're going to go over here and we're going to slide that right back up on this leg. I hope you can see that good. And we're going to do that before we wrap the duct tape around it, because those don't like to go back down over the duct tape on there. So once we do that, then you're going to take your duct tape and you're going to wrap it a few times around. to where, even with the leg down here, going to start and just wrap it around. Might want to pull the leg out a little bit to get around the rest of them. And we're going to wrap it probably 6 or 8 times. We want to make, if that's not enough, then we'll go back and we'll wrap it some more. And you can put your leg on there and see if it's going to be steady it, or if it's not going to steady it. This is the same. You could use anything else to do this. You could use a piece of rubber that had some adhesive on it. Just anything to make that leg just a little bit bigger. And we'll see how that does right there. And then we take our leg and we slide it up over it. And it's going to come to right there. You can see that's still got some wiggle in that end, so we're going to put a little bit more on it, and then we'll come back after that and we'll finish putting them together. Okay, we're back for a minute. You can see with this piece here, if we just put it on and put it up to where it's supposed to go, you can see the wiggle that the piece has in it. Okay, now the one we just fixed while we were gone is this one right here. We got it all wrapped up. We've got our boot up here, because if you don't put that on first, it don't like to go over that. So we line it up, we push it up on here, and it's a little tight. It's supposed to be. May have to use just a little persuasion. Get it up on there. And we want to put it all the way up till our hole comes in. So we can see our hole right there. Okay? Now you can see there's hardly any movement at all in that. Once we get it bolted down, we can trim the duct tape off of it right there and pull the boot down on top of it. And it's a nice finished product ready to put our leg in, which that'll be the next step we got coming up in just a little bit, to put the legs on it. Alright, now the next step is to bolt our adapter on. That's the piece we cut from here to here off of the donor tent. And so we've got half of it bolted on there. Now we're going to attach our leg, and it just goes right up in through here. And this is our extension leg. Let me get on the other side here. It just goes right up in there, and it will hit this one coming down. They're about right there. It's where they're meeting in the middle. And we're using a 7/16 bolt in here. And it may need a little help. And I don't have the right size wrench over here, so we'll just kind of do this just to get it started in the hole here. And that's not going to work. We're going to have to get the right size wrench over here from the toolbox. And that takes a 5/8 wrench, so that's the size of the head on that thing. I slid our leg back in. You could do your holes just a little bit bigger and you wouldn't have to worry with this. nut on the other side of it to hold it on. Okay, and you can see we're pretty good. Still got some play in that leg though, don't we? Don't have much up here though, not anymore. So what we're going to do is, out of our other donor tent, it was a little more expensive pop-up tent, but when we took these off of it, there was a lot of them little old things. It was like spider webby up in there. So what we do is we take and we cut those off in strips, we fold them up, and we shimmy it up under right here. And you can see right there how that steadies the leg. And believe it or not, folks, that's the way these tents are made. They are shimmied up and just got pieces made into them like that in various places that makes them sturdy. Get a couple more pieces here. We'll put just a couple more up in here, and you can just push them right up to where you can't see them, and they will not come out of there. They will stay in, and that will steady your tent legs up. And you won't have to worry about it doing. Now what we're going to do is you can see there how that steadied that leg up. It moves a little bit. We're going to tighten those down a little bit more. But that has got it a ton steadier than what it has been. We're going to do the rest of them now. And then we'll come back and we'll show you what it looks like when we get it set up. Okay, we've got the extension legs. They're installed. There's all of our brackets all bolted in right there. Real good. You can see there's not a lot of movement in that joint at all. And that was the problem we were coming up with before. Was we had movements in the joints. You couldn't put the tent up and move it around. The legs would bend right there at the joints. But I feel like those are going to be pretty tight. So we would take it out and set it up and see, but it started raining. So we're going to set it up right here in the garage and just kind of turn it up on its feet. Okay, there it is. All right, there's the final product of the leg extension project up. It's up and over the window real good. And we'll come up here and I'll give you a close-up view of the extensions, the way we've got them put up. And there they are. From the bolts down is the extensions. You can see how they're put on and how we've got them fixed there. And you can see there's the window and how the tent goes above the window. And we can raise that tent up about another 4 or 5 inches. We're at the second level out of 3. So if we need to go up a little higher, we always can. But there it is. Hope this helps somebody to get your tent raised up and make it good and sturdy. See you later. Bye.